welcome to the Monday Morning Marketing Podcast. My name is Melanie.
And I'm Esther.
And today we're going to be talking about, how to keep costs down. Ultimately, when we're all setting up our business, or frankly, even if we're running our business on an ongoing basis, we always have to try and do our best to keep the costs down. So we're going to go and tell you about some of the shortcuts, some of the updates, some of the platforms, some of the tools that we use that will hopefully help you keep your costs down too. So Esther, can you start us off?
When we first started out in business with IPA Group, we love, and to this day, still love, a freebie platform that will help you grow your business. Yes, there are platforms out there with all the bells and whistles that do everything in one single platform. But when you're starting out, you don't have the finances usually to go and purchase something at like, I don't know, $1,000 a month or 500 euros a month or whatever it is. And so when you're starting out, we find that there are so many good platforms that are maybe also just starting out. So we use a platform called AppSumo, which is AppSumo. And there you can find platforms that are just starting out or platforms that have been around for a while but are adding on new features. And if you get in there early enough, you can get deals from as low as $20. And that's it. You don't pay a penny more. There's others that go all the way up to $100 or slightly more, but you never pay again for it because there's other platforms that you pay and every month you're paying the same amount or every year you're paying an annual fee. But these platforms on AppSumo, and they can be anything from time management, which is where we find the one that we use for it, that's called Infinity. It's sort of like Asana and Trello, which have their free versions. But Infinity has had an offer on it, and we love it. And they're constantly adding new things to it. Yes, it takes it a while longer because it's not an established platform, but stick with them and you will get to the level of the other ones for a fraction of the cost. What's one that you use, Melanie?
Well, to be honest with you, when I first started, and I'm, trying to get a presence online, it wasn't always my content I was putting up. It was obviously other people's content as well. So I'll be honest with you, I just did a Google search on a regular basis, looking up news with search engine optimized words. So my particular field was marketing. So I would look up content in the marketing world that was only a couple of days old or even came out hours ago, which frequently happened because obviously fresh content is going up on the web all the time. And I just Google search and then I'd schedule that to go out. I mean, when you're first starting, you don't have any money at all, really, to speak of. So I just Google searched rather than sort of, I mean, you can bootstrap and you can buy some stuff. You can do the free trials, but it gets so fiddly.
It does.
When does it finish? And 9 times out of 10, they take your debit card or credit card from the beginning anyway. So you end up paying a monthly or even an annual fee if you don't stay on top of it. So yeah, I just Google searched. But it's as much as what you can put out there that's going to be beneficial at the end of the day. So can you think of something else that might help our audience out, keep the cost down?
Yeah, definitely. Like a lot of people would talk about, using a scheduling tool, but stick with the native platforms when you're just getting started. Facebook, Instagram, use Creator Studio, which is free, and just stick to those. Yes, it means jumping from platform to platform, but the realistically, that's a small amount of time that you will be spending jumping between them. If you have, like me, 20,000 tabs open, you'll just skip from one tab to the other and you'll never even notice that you've moved platform. But that's also where I keep the analytics and where I see those. And, rather than paying anything up to thousands for a scheduling tool that also gives you analytics and reporting, when you're just starting out and you have less than 100 followers, less than 1,000 followers, those native platforms are the best to keep your statistics correct as well.
But there are some platforms out there that do offer you free options as well, or very low cost. But there is Agorapulse, of course, and we will have to put our hands up here and say that we're both Agorapulse ambassadors. So we are more than a little bit biased. But there are other platforms also that offer you free options. It may limit you to the amount of times you can post a month. They may give you basic analytics, but why not use them?
Yeah.
Eventually the hope is you'll pick up the pace, you'll bring in some regular clients regardless of what you're selling, whether it's services or products, and you can then step up, do the step up onto the paid platforms. But there is one thing I want to mention, and it's going to be awkward for you to mention because of what you do, but the temptation is that a lot of people will go, well, I don't want a website because it's so expensive. And granted, good websites, hear the word there, good websites are expensive. But just to get yourself a template website, most of them do it these days, don't they? Wix do it,
Yeah.
Squarespace do it,
Yeah.
WordPress do it.
Webflow. They all do
Yep,
it.
they all do template websites that you just fill in the hole. This is where you put your logo. This is, they may have 4 or 5 standard pages, which frankly is all you need when you first start.
Yeah.
And just get a website, sorry, that helps you get found in search. And as long as you've got just one area that you update on a regular basis, like a calendar of events or a blog or latest news or something like that, and you don't have to do it weekly like you see your competitors doing. I mean, it would be nice, but it's very time consuming and they tend to have staff who fill that gap.
Yeah.
But if it's just you, just get yourself a template website, and when you've got a few bucks, then you can find somebody who can update for you, who can, I don't know all the correct words, is CSS, is it?
Yeah. There's
Yeah. And
all
they
the
can do all
different
the
things.
correct stuff to update it, and update the script and make it faster and make the pictures optimized, and there's all lots and lots of other stuff you can do. But just get a website in the first place, because
Yes.
although it may take you a bit of time, frankly doing it at the beginning is the best time to do it, because let's face it, you haven't got a lot of work on.
Yeah. And from that, I would say if you're worried about how to do it, just go to YouTube. Go
Yeah.
to YouTube and find a tutorial on that, or any other thing that you might be doing, like how to use Canva for, your images for your social media, how to post to Pinterest or LinkedIn. What do I say? There are videos on YouTube about literally anything and everything. You do not need to, at the beginning, again, now you get what you pay for. So at the beginning, when you're just starting out and you don't have the finances or the resources, find out as much information as you can from the free webinars that you always see advertised. They might not all agree with, your ethos or what it is that you need to sell and things, but you'll discern from those what it is that, you need to do. Use resources like YouTube, use the free version of Canva. You don't need the pro version. Like I said, you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
So if after a few months you've got your clients starting to come in and you realize, oh, that logo that I got from Fiverr looks a lot like another logo that somebody else has. So stop, to not get into trouble with said other company, let's go to a graphic designer and get a logo made. Let's
Yeah.
go to a web designer and get my website properly done. Plus there's government support out there.
Oh God, yeah. Every country will have some sort of startup fund, and there'll be some sort of state body out there in whichever country you're in listening to this, that will be there to support you right from initial setup of your business, whether it's tech, or product or service. And don't be afraid to ask. I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, isn't it, Esther? They
Yeah.
forget that they can ask.
Yeah.
They're not behaving stupid, or nobody expects you to know this stuff from the get-go.
No, especially, and it doesn't matter how old or young you are, or whether this is not the first business that you set up.
Mm.
Times change.
Amen.
Everything changes. So you need to roll with the changes. And like Melanie said, ask for help, ask for support. Just even if you put up a simple post on your own Facebook page or, your profile, or on a Twitter, just an urgent tweet, help, I need help, I don't know what I'm doing. There will be people that you might not even know that will be watching and jumping in to help you.
There you go. There's another free thing that you can do. Build up your network. Okay.
Yes.
Build up your network. There's lots of networks that you could become a part of, either very inexpensively or completely free, and build up a rapport with your connections online, whether it's through LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you are. And if you ask for help there, you'll be gobsmacked at the amount of people who will down tools and say, what can I do? How can I help?
Yeah, because they've been there, done that, and definitely got the t-shirt.
Yeah. So, well, I hope these tips, I mean, we've basically had a chat, which is frankly what we do every week, really, isn't it?
It really is.
Pretty much. But, if you don't start simple, you don't start.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the great words of somebody we both admire, start now, start simple. We would really like you to just embrace the changes, confront the battle from the beginning, and just accept help where it's offered. Because if we hadn't have done that with both of our businesses, we wouldn't be talking to you today. And we love talking to you guys.
We do. And we'll be back next week to talk to you with more stuff. Until then, bye-bye from me.
And bye-bye from her.